Talking Reds, Thursday, February the 20th. This is not about Tuesday. This is, I don't know.
Thank God.
Yeah, just us on a Thursday, kicking back and just enjoying life and all that. So yeah, a bit of a weird one this week. Obviously, the Reds lost Atletico Madrid the other night in Madrid, kind of licking the wounds, dust has settled a little bit. We seem positive going into the second leg. But anyway, more Champions League action last night, including Red Bull Leipzig, who took on Spurs and beat them 1-0. With a goal scored by Timo Werner. Now the fallout from that is that Werner was asked, I think it was after the game, about linking him with Liverpool, and he said, quote, "It's a pleasure, but I know that Liverpool have a lot of good players, but I have to improve myself to learn much more things to get to this level to play there." That isn't so much as a come and get me plea, than it, please come and get me.
Yeah, isn't it? It is. It's look, I'm sure he's been asked the question by a journalist in the mix zone or something, and he's answered it, and that's what he would say. But quite often when a player wants to leave or is looking at a particular club, they mention them, don't they? And he obviously gets the goal last night. I know it was a penalty, but it feels like one that's very, very, very doable, doesn't it? Like in terms of the release clause, in terms of stylistically the kind of player. You see his work rate last night. I don't think he had a brilliant game as such. He obviously gets the winning penalty, but it's the work rate and it's the guile, and he almost reminds me a little bit of Salah down the middle, really. I'd be very interested in him at Liverpool.
Yeah, I mean, breaking the fourth wall a bit with these interviews, because we've both been in mixed zones, and quite often before interviews begin, you get a little nudge from the press officer and go, ask him about this. Or don't mention that. So it's interesting where that's come from. I mean, I agree with Craig. The link seems to be getting stronger and stronger. What I find interesting is that it was just presumed that he'd be signing for Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich have gone cold on him, maybe because Bayern Munich thinks he's going elsewhere. But I was thinking about this on the way in this morning. Isn't it funny? Because for years we always feared our best players being picked off, as they were. Yeah. For Coutinho, Luis Suarez, going back Fernando Torres, even by Chelsea a little bit. And it's almost like hunted turn gamekeeper for Liverpool at the minute, whereas they're the ones that other teams are afraid of nicking the players. And to be honest, I've got a little bit of sympathy for the likes of Red Bull and even Dortmund, because been linked with Sancho and whatever. We must be doing their heading. Without actually doing anything.
Yeah, well, we're definitely the team that everyone would like to sign for. That's, you know, the likes of Sancho and so on, and Werner. The fact that he's mentioned them, I think they're the kind of players. What I'm interested in this summer is what sort of bracket Liverpool go for, because we've spoken about Mbappe and maybe that's a bit of a pipe dream. I'm not sure. But do they go for someone like that, where like they're throwing every bit of money, or do they stick to the strategy that they've seen be so successful over the past few years and almost pick players off from different teams at the moment they're just about to become world class?
You say that though. Did we not break that strategy when we signed Virgil van Dijk and Alisson Becker?
Yeah, I think the Van Dijk one's a little bit different because he comes from Southampton, I think.
No, but I mean purely if you're talking like top bracket, well, you knew what you were getting. There was no, we might be world class. There was always, this is the thoroughbred.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Melissa Reddy wrote a piece recently about the transfer strategy, and she mentioned Werner, she mentioned Sancho, she mentioned Mbappe, Havertz, all players that Liverpool have been scouting, Liverpool are interested in, Liverpool like, but it's whether they can do a deal for and make it work for Liverpool. And she said that, you know, they wouldn't deviate from the strategy. But what she did mention was, she mentioned Van Dijk and she mentioned Alisson as being two exceptions to their transfer strategy, as you said. She called them game changer transfers, and she says that she isn't sure that you know, that they'll look at a game changer. You know, Mbappe's a game changer transfer, isn't it really? Sancho, you know, his stats have been brilliant. He's still a young player. He's going to cost 100 million. And surely that's a game changer transfer.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you can see where Sancho could come in. I think with that, so you talk about the centre half and the goalkeeper, it was clear they were areas of need that needed strengthening. Yeah. Whereas there's not a lot wrong with our front three. I mean, very little wrong with our front three. So you do wonder whether there's an element of, well, if we sign Sancho, he's not really going to disrupt everything. He's not going to be demanding to start every week. He's not going to ruffle any feathers. Where if they sign them back, you presume he'd have to go straight in. You disrupt that front three. You know, and I think that Sancho's a kid as well, so he's got a lot to learn, and he's maybe more mouldable. I know Mbappe's still relatively young, but you're not bringing that brand almost.
Yeah, no, you're definitely right. I think Mbappe's just an exception to everyone. I don't know about Sancho. You know, he's a player that left England dead young to play football. He's taken bold moves before, and it'd just be, you know, for him to weigh up whether he's happy and comfortable to come to Liverpool and not immediately be, like you say, disrupting that front three. That it's something that he'll work on over months. Like, he's going to get games. Like, you know, they are going to get games, and if Sancho, you're going to town for it. Like you're absolutely celebrating. It's a brilliant. I think Werner probably makes is a bit more achievable just because I believe he probably would come in and say, right, okay, there's Salah, Mane and Firmino in front of me. I'm gonna force my way in there.
It's interesting times. I mean, Werner's obviously in the Germany squad as well. He's a bit more established. But I mean, either whether it's Sancho or Werner or Havertz, even with the front three as they are, you could easily see any of them getting 30 plus games a season.
Definitely.
Which, you know, if you're either Werner or Sancho, to me that's enough to keep your eye in, to keep your international, and also to grow and progress as a player, and also challenge yourself to go, right, okay, you're thinking I'm only going to get 30 games a season, I'm going to force you to play me in 50.
If Sancho and Werner come in, they get the games that Origi, Oxlade-Chamberlain have got and Shaqiri have got in those left. They get the games of all of those players, don't they? Suddenly they become that one that just goes in right away. There's no sort of, do we put Origi in at left? Do we have to push Chamberlain forward? We've got Sancho, you put him in. It'd be incredible for us to have that next season. I'd love it.
I'd take either or both. Anyway, referenced Atletico Madrid at the top of the show. Our second look show is out. It's on free this week on YouTube. Here's a little clip now.
I think one of the things it shows us, Mo, is it reminds us about, and again, a lot of this can sound banal if you're not careful, but it actually reminds you about the knife edge you play European football on. Because one of the things I start thinking at 1-0 is just don't let them get another. Because suddenly 2-0 feels completely different, and that then also looms large last 10, when I think that Atletico did begin, if you go all the way to the end of the game, that last 10, I think Atletico began to think Simeone maybe was going, right now, as they're tired, they've thrown everything at it, they're a bit demoralised, let's see if we can get the second. But I was really thinking, just do not concede another. But that's the knife edge of this, whereas if it's a league game, it's easy just to say, we just throw the kitchen sink at them and see what happens to the other side.
I mean, the biggest example of that, I know we're going to talk about substitutions later in the show, but the fact that Klopp wasn't willing to risk Mane getting a red card. It's like, no, there's another whole game for us to win this in. So we're going to take him off now and make sure that whatever we do here, we can get it back in the next leg. And I think at that point in the last 10, when they did start going again, it really started to remind me of Napoli away in the first game of the Champions League, because that's exactly what they did. They put that pressure on. Once our frustration had got to the point, we felt like we'd almost punched ourselves out, because at that point in the game, we weren't still creating chances. It wasn't like, there were periods in the game where it's like, one's coming. That wasn't one of those periods.
On that idea of, and I think again, this is something which is worth bearing in mind into how the game plays out. It reminded me a little, if you take the scoreline away of the first leg of the last 16 last season against Munich, where Liverpool in the first half create a couple of opportunities, don't really convert them, and then we get to about 20 to go, and it's almost like both sides don't really entirely know what to do. And then Munich began to sort of come alive a tiny bit, not enough, I'd say, in the last 10 of that first leg, and Liverpool were almost like, we'll just take 0-0. I think the extent to which Liverpool take 1-0 second half has actually been understated retrospectively. I think Liverpool, after they had the big push after the break, they then get to about 60, 65, and I think Liverpool are almost happy to say, all right, we've had a bit of a go tonight, we'll see what happens next.
Yep, we're back. As I said, second look, get involved. Brilliant content this week. And as I said, all for free on YouTube. So if you haven't looked at it before, you haven't seen it before, get involved, get a taste of it, and then, if you fancy, you can always subscribe, can't you, later on? Right, talking about transfers in, transfers out. Adam Lallana has been linked with an exit continually over the last few months with his contract situation. Fresh links with Leicester City. I mean, I really like Adam Lallana. I think he's a useful squad player, but you're talking about game time for players coming in. I think for his own sanity, not for his own sanity, but for his own career, it looks like a good link and could be a really good move for him if it did materialise.
I think so. I think it's a good move for everyone at this stage, to be honest. There was a little flurry of Adam Lallana performances towards the end of the year where I was thinking, do you know what, I'd like to have him around. Like he's been brilliant, and any time we've put him in this season, we've been able to rely on him. He's been great. I think of Villa away, where he was outstanding. We obviously scraped the win, but he played in that defensive midfield role. I think that it's just too often he's not available when there is an opportunity for him. There'll be times where you think, we'll throw Adam Lallana. It's like, actually, no, Adam Lallana's not available for this one.
And then when he is fit, it tends to coincide when we're at full strength anyway.
Yeah, definitely. And it feels a little bit like maybe Leicester be a good move. He's worked under Rodgers before. Rodgers brings him to Liverpool, knows exactly what kind of player. They know exactly how to work with each other. And stylistically, it works for him as well. I think Liverpool just seem to be, and I don't know if this is the case, but it feels like to me that they almost have to manage Adam Lallana in a way that we now don't really need to. That you know, we can make him someone else's problem. Make him someone else's problems is really harsh. I mean, in terms of having to manage his fitness. Like I said, I've loved him, and I'd love nothing more for him to leave Liverpool with a Premier League medal and maybe another medal in his back pocket.
No, fantastic. As I wouldn't have a particular problem with you. I wouldn't mind him staying at all. I think he's good to have around. He's clearly well liked. Henderson clearly really likes him.
Yeah.
And he's proven when he's on the pitch and he's fit, he can make valuable contributions. I think with him as well. I think he's one of these players where his fitness depends on minutes and rhythm, and he can't get into a rhythm at Liverpool because he's not playing every week.
Yeah.
I mean, it begs the question about fresh faces in general, ins and outs. I mean, there was some people have been putting this together with Gini Wijnaldum and speculation around his future. I don't quite see it like that. No. I think that Wijnaldum will end up signing a new deal and he'll be fine. It's just the case these things can move slowly sometimes. So, you know, and also Lallana going back to Inns, it does free up a space for another attack-minded signer to come in. Because Lallana has been touted as a possibility for that front three when over the last 18 months, 2 years, when there have been little injuries. So we'll see on that front. I think that's kind of pretty much it by the regular. The USA tour going well, you know more than me.
Yeah, tickets are selling really well, especially Toronto. If you're going to want to go to that, I would get on that soon. Atlanta as well. We're doing 6 dates and 6 nights.
USA, Canada, sorry.
Yeah, North America tour. Yeah, starting in Toronto, Boston, New York, Austin, Atlanta, Delaware. I've got good at that little rhythm now.
I can't do Delaware without thinking of Wayne's World, you know.
Yeah, well, that's kind of been the joke with a lot of people wondering why we've gone. We've got a really good relationship with the sports club there, and they've been brilliant to us. So, we're excited about that. You can get tickets by going to ctickets.com and then searching for the Anfield Wrap. The previous link that we've been giving you won't work at the minute because the website is down. So, just search for the Anfield Wrap on C-Tickets. You'll be able to get that. It's the end of March. It's the international break between Palace and City, and we're dead excited about it. So yeah, get on that.
There you go, fantastic. That's Talking Reds, Thursday, February the 20th. I'm Andy Heaton, this is Craig Hannan. Up to then.